Yashodanandana Bhajajanandana Yashodanandana Bhajajanandana Namanatiyachari Namanatiyachari Jaya Madhava Kunjabihari Jaya Madhava Kunjabihari Gopikana Vallabha Hari Gopikana Vallabha Hari Shodanandana Bhajanandana Shodanandana Bhajanandana Yamunatira Varachari Yamunatira Varachari Jaya Madhava Kunjabihari Jaya Madhava Kunjabihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 20. Here to see Amogha, Sankalpa, Unanabhi, Yata, Unute, Ta, Tatdishayam, Dehi, Manisham, Mahi, Madhava, Hidasyamoga Sankalpa, Unanabhi Yatornate, Tata Dishayam Dehi, Manisham Mahi Madhava, Hidasyamoga Sankalpa, Unanabhiryatorate Tata Vishayam Dehi Manisham Mohimadava Yasya Moga Sankalpa Purnanabhyatornute Tata Vishayam Dehi Anisha Mahimarava.
Moga Sankalpa Urnanabhiryatornute Tathathad Vishayam Dehi Manisham Madhava.
Kritasya moga sankalpa Urnanabhiryatornute Tatata Vichayam Dehi Manisha Madhava.
You to see as you play. Amogha, infallible. Sankalpa, determination. Urnanabhi, the spider. Ta, as much as. Urnute, covers. Tata, so on. Tat Ishayam, in the subject of all those. Dehi, do let me know. Anisham, philosophically, I, unto me, Madhava, O master of all energies. Translation. O master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible. Want to read the purport, please?
By the inconceivable energy of the Lord, every creative element has its own potencies, known as the potency of the element, potency of knowledge, and potency of different actions and reactions. By a combination of such potencies of the Lord, there is the manifestation of creation, maintenance, and annihilation in due course of time, and by different agents like Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. Brahma creates, Vishnu maintains, and Lord Shiva destroys. But all such agents and creative energies are emanations from the Lord, and as such, there is nothing except the Lord, or the one supreme source of different diversities. The exact example is the spider and the spider's web. The web is created by the spider, and it is maintained by the spider. And as soon as the spider likes, the whole thing is wound up within the spider. The spider is covered within the web. If an insignificant spider is so powerful as to act according to its will, why can't the Supreme Being act by his supreme will in the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the cosmic manifestations? By the grace of the Lord, a devotee like Brahma, or one in his chain of disciplic succession, can understand the Almighty Personality of Godhead, eternally engaged in his transcendental pastimes in the region of different energies.
There's no such thing as a devil, per se, having a separate manifestation other than from God. Because everything comes from God, even devil. Even if someone acts completely opposite the Lord, as if he was completely ignoring the Lord's wishes, still it's it's related to the Lord, because he is everything emanates from him. There's nothing outside of him. if it was outside of him and it wasn't dependent on him, then you could have serious problems. But because the Lord is completely in control of all aspects, nothing can go outside of his plan. And that means everything that's going on is under his plan. And if people think that God is not making good arrangements, he can't seem to get it worked out properly, that's just because they don't understand his immense plan and intelligence so far beyond ours. We can't understand. So we certainly can't judge and make statements about it. How good or bad it is. It's simply ludicrous. Everything there's no such thing as accidents. Ultimately, we may say it's an accidental, someone's driving and they get an accident. That means things go against the way I would like them or someone else would like them. But nothing can go against the way the Lord likes it in the ultimate issue. Although the Lord does still allow living entities to disobey him to some extent. He gets the last laugh because even if they disobey him in this lifetime, next lifetime they become a worm or something. So they're not able to prevail over him. Temporarily, it may seem like, wow, that person got better of Krishna. Look, he's taking him up in he's come as a whirlwind, and he's grabbed the little baby God, and he's flown up into the sky, he's twirling around. He's going to kill that baby. No. Wait and see the end of the show. It may look like a while, or that he's not the hero. That's to add a little more flavor, make it more exciting. Because the Lord knows that we're all persons and we like adventure, we like excitement, we like fighting, we like love, we like romance, all these topics. So Krishna provides that in a way that is healthy for everyone. And he provides it in a way that's unhealthy for everyone. Take your choice. He recommends taking it in a healthy way. That means seeing him as the hero. And we take it, no, I'll try to see myself as the hero. It doesn't work good. And when I'm the hero, because I'm influenced by ignorance and passion, it doesn't work out good. Because if he's a hero and he's filled with ignorance and passion, he'll do something terrible with that power he has. It's like a man, he may be stronger than a woman, so if he gets the opportunity, he'll take advantage of his strength and use it for his own enjoyment, no matter what the opposite party says. But Krishna never does that. We never see Krishna does anything improper with his power. You may say, well, how about marrying 16,000 wives? That was improper. A rotten deal they got. No, we've discussed that before. Krishna's accepting them as his wives is only for their mercy, for their benefit. And he never exploits. He never takes advantage of someone in a way that will be unhealthy for them. Even if he kills someone or cuts their head off, they think, oh, he cut the head off. Or he may get really angry with someone like Kangsa and his brothers. Killed all 9 brothers too. Kangsa, the brothers. They could, or in the case of Bhima. Bhima was so angry at Duryodhana and his brothers. He took a vow, I'm going to kill every one of the 100 brothers, 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, I'm going to kill them all. And he did it, everyone. And Gandhari, she's the mother of all the brothers. She was so angry with Krishna. She knew Krishna was God. And she had love for Krishna in one sense, but she couldn't tolerate it. If you had left even one son, you killed them all. So she blamed him. Although Bhima took the vow, she blamed Krishna. She said, I have to curse you that your dynasty is going to kill itself. Your whole dynasty is going to be wiped out. So Krishna does some things. Killed all 100 sons of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. And then he had to take the responsibility. Yes, you're right. I deserve to be cursed. So he got cursed. But that cursing is another pastime. Another blissful pastime. Far out, amazing. How he gets shot in the heel. Shot in the heel with a bit of a iron arrowhead that happened to be part of the club that made the pregnancy of Samba real. That piece happened. That last piece was made into. Hunter found that piece of iron metal. It was from the curse of the Brahmanas. Brahmanas cursed the Yadu dynasty to wipe itself out because they were joking around, trying to make fools out of the Brahmanas. The whole story. And why then did Krishna's God, how could he not protect himself? How could he be killed by being shot in the heel? Nobody dies with a heel shot. You ever heard of anyone dying? Got shot in the heel. I didn't die. So that's also part of the plan. When Durvasa Muni visited Dwarka, he was saying, he walk around, he's quite eccentric, powerful, greatly powerful, and eccentric. So he'd go around the houses, so many houses, and call out, Durvasa Muni here. Anyone like to invite me for dinner? Lunch? Everyone's afraid to lock the doors, hide away. Because they're afraid that if they bring him into their house and they do one thing that is not pleasing to him, he'll curse them. And they horrible curses sometimes. No one would invite him, but Krishna and Rukmini, they invited him in. And Krishna told her, we're going to have to be ready 24 hours a day to serve him. Anything he asks, we have to do. That was the plan. So, he asked him some things. He was asking him to do things. And one time, I think it was in the middle of the night or something, he said, I want cereal. Cereal immediately. So, fortunately, Krishna had made plans for cereal. He said, now, I want you to smear this, both of you and me, smear on every part of your body, every single inch of your body. So he did that. He was satisfied. Then he put them through some other things, tests. And finally, he said to her, because you did this, as I said, he gave her some tasks to, like, she had to be like a horse and pull the chariot. She was doing that. He was doing that to her. Man. The sons of Krishna were really angry. The sons of Rukmini, they almost couldn't take it. Why are we letting this Brahmin rule of our mothers? What kind of hell are we going to go to? No. So anyway, at the end, he was about to leave, and he told them, you've done very nicely. You've pleased me. But one thing, and then he explained about Rukmini. He said, Rukmini will be the most beautiful woman in the world. Her beauty will never fade. He said, Krishna, he said, why did you put I told you to put the cereal all over your body. He said, yes, I did. He said, no, but you left us that one part where your heel. Now you're going to be weak there. Because of that weakness, therefore, he got shot in the heel. He wasn't invulnerable. So this is all a dramatic plan. Krishna leaves, but he doesn't just leave like an ordinary person leaves. He doesn't just, everything is so wonderful that only he could figure out. They give credit to Alfred Hitchcock or this writer, they're very good at suspense. They create a whole story. But nothing like Krishna's plan. Krishna's plan is so involved. Those Brahmanas, how did they know that these boys who had, they were very powerful boys, they could fight, they were Maharatis of the greatest order, very powerful, very full of opulences. How could they become overwhelmed to the point where they try to make jokes of Narad Muni and other Brahmas? How could they do that? Trained by the Supreme Lord, sons of the Lord. How could the Lord let it? So all these things are not possible for us to understand. With our mundane intelligence will become bewildered. We'll try to find some faults. Blue God. And he's stealing butter. Can't stop stealing. He's supposed to be God, but they can't stop him from stealing butter, making a mess. There's so many nonsense things. dancing with others' wives. What is that? He's got 16,000 wives himself. He's dancing with them. So they just can't understand him. But those who take his activities as perfect and never complain and never like Rukmini, she was especially known. She would never find fault with Krishna. Whatever Krishna did was okay with her. She never talked back. So Krishna wanted to see her get upset sometimes. So Krishna, he started telling her that they should get a divorce. Krishna said, you know, you made a mistake when you were younger. You were just a young girl. You didn't think things out very carefully. You passed up some very good husbands. You could have married Shishupal, you could have married, if you list the whole. But instead, you chose me. I'm just a vagabond. I'm not fit for marrying you. I don't even have any attachment to you. I don't love you. Anyway, you made a mistake. Better late than never. You can counteract it. You can get a divorce and go marry someone else. But Rukmini is so simple. She couldn't understand he was joking. She didn't think it was a joke. She immediately became so frightened, she's stunned. She lost so much weight that her bangles fell on the ground. She's lost so much. She fell down like a tree. And Krishna had to rush over and pick her up. Rukmini, bring her. And he explained, no, I was joking. So what was the point? That's the standard. She never found fault. On the other hand, Satyabhama always found fault. So Krishna, he can allow all kinds of wives. He had one wife that says, whatever you do, Krishna, is perfect. The other wife says, you never do anything perfect. You always do things against me. She's always criticizing. Krishna likes, he can deal with everything perfectly. And he'll satisfy his devotees no matter what they want. They want to be his enemies, then they have some desire to compete with him. Oh, you have some desire. You become Hiranyakashipu, you can give a good shot at trying to defeat. He gives them a chance. They can play the role of demons. Or they can play the role of devotees. Or his friends, so many relationships. Or animal. He can have a relationship as an animal to Krishna. All these relationships are fully satisfying to the living entities. And it's perfect. Every one of those pastimes is worth hearing. In heavenly planets, they have many more volumes of Bhagavatam than we have. We have 60 volumes here. They have thousands and thousands of volumes. Because the Lord's pastimes are unlimited. You'll never get bored with Krishna. Because he's always doing something amazing, new and fresh. It's like Radharani. She never cooks the same preparation twice for Krishna. So you can just imagine what kind of dishes are coming out from Rukmini's kitchen or Radharani's kitchen. So the example to give, if a little spider, Urni, that little Urni, he can create a whole web, a whole world from inside his body and then he maintains it. And then he says, okay, I'm going to wind up. I'm going to take my show somewhere else. I don't know if insects around here. Winds it up, goes somewhere else. If he can do that, why can't God do that on a big scale? God can manifest a whole universe or a whole Mahatattva from himself. And he can maintain it. He's a maintainer. He may use Brahma for so-called creation and Vishnu for maintenance and Shiva for destruction. But ultimately, it's all coming from him. It's his desire. Nothing happens outside of his desire. Then they blame God for the bad things. No, it's not God's fault. God has arranged a perfect way to correct them, to punish them, so that they don't do it again. And so that others learn the lesson too. And those who are getting taught this lesson, they're getting punished for their misdeeds. It was all perfectly arranged. If you can't understand how the universe is perfectly arranged, then that means you're trying to understand with your limited intelligence, your limited senses. You have to hear from those who know. Those who know have heard from Krishna, or from those who are very close to Krishna. Then you can understand everything. Nothing bewildering then. Why do these things happen? Because living entities are allowed to play. They're expansions of him also. We were hearing yesterday. The marginal potency, that's the Shakti. That's a Shakti of his that allows for incarnations of himself. They are also him. And they're given the freedom to choose to Krishna loved it. Great, but he defeated all of them. He didn't kill them because they were demigods. He just gave them a tacit punishment. Teach them a lesson. These fools thought they could defeat me. So they tried. He routed them. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you were saying that Krishna perfectly arranges our punishment. How can we understand this when we forget our past lives and the sins that we had performed then? Can you speak on this a little bit?
How can we, what was the last part?
How could we learn from our mistakes and understand that we're getting punished for a certain deed or sinful act?
We may forget, but then the Vedas tell us, Veda Mata. Veda is our mother. So mother reminds that soul that is now acting as the baby of that mother. It isn't the first time that soul's been around. Soul's been around eternally. Soul's been through millions of bodies. They forgot. So it's her duty to teach that soul in the baby's body, how to act properly. If she does her duty properly, then she's rewarded by the Lord. If the mother is irresponsible, then she's punished. And the mother explains to the child that we've lived before. The Vedas say, mother's a guru, Vedas are guru. So many teachers. King is guru, king's wife is guru, Brahma is a guru, Brahma's wife is guru. So we have so many teachers. They're meant to teach the children properly what they've forgotten. Not that I have to remember everything by myself. I may forget, but then mother, it's like we have scars on our body. We may have forgotten how we got that scar, but the mother doesn't forget. So we learn from the Vedas that the punishment I'm getting now, say I'm getting some disease. I'm getting that disease because I deserve it. It's good for me. It'll help me realize not to make mistakes again like I did before. That's intelligence.
Some certain belief systems install this idea of God-fearing people. And I'm just wondering, there's all these elaborate punishments for the living entities, even seemingly for a relatively small offense. Radha Damodara and I were discussing this last night, like not offering your guest a meal when he comes into your house. There's a punishment where you have to be, in an ocean of worms, just eating worms, and you have to take a birth of every worm in this ocean for an offense like this. So I'm wondering, does it's sanctioned by Krishna, obviously, for a reason. So is it that he gets some kind of pleasure from punishing the living entities in this way?
And Lord gets pleasure from everything he does, because everything he does is perfect. We may not, we may see this with our limited vision. We think, ooh, what a horrible punishment for such a minor thing. He really overdid it on that one. We think he overdid it. We think it's yucky, and we think we're better than God, because I would never suggest such a thing. I would never allow it. I'm more merciful than God. So this is another way for us to puff ourselves up and think that we're better than God in so many different ways. We've got a better view of it than he does. Would you have created 28 major hells and then so many thousands of subordinate systems of punishment? Would you have thought? How would you have done it? No. That's the thing. Yeah, usually they say, I wouldn't have created hell. Well, then what happens to those who disobey the law? They're allowed to just live, continue and committing sinful activities. You may like that, but he doesn't like that. He likes to correct. He likes to give punishments to those who deserve it, not to those who don't deserve it. So, persons who misbehave to innocent persons, they should be punished, not the innocent ones. This is why in the Vaishnava or Vedic system, they don't allow murderers to continue doing that. They get their punishment, very severe punishment. And therefore it's ordained by the king that the king should judge them through proper system, have a whole system of judgment, not just whimsical. But when a person is proven guilty of some horrible crime, then he's punished severely. That severe punishment causes him much less punishment than he would get if he were allowed to not be punished for that act. So it's all mercy of the Lord. We can't see it because we don't know what's happening in the future. We don't know what's going to happen next. We have to have faith. Faith in Krishna. Faith that everything he does is perfect. Therefore, you see, the real devotees, they never blaspheme Krishna for doing anything. No matter how horrible it seems. Like, for example, the Gopi women, they like to criticize Krishna, even in different lives. They said, we've heard from Purnamasi about Krishna in previous lives when he came as Lord Ramachandra. And the woman, Shapurnaka, she fell in love with him. So as a Kshatriya, he should have married her. She came to marry. She wanted to marry him. He should have married her. What did he do? He had her nose and ears cut off. Made her an ugly woman. What kind of God is that? What kind of great personality is that? So they criticized. But they are lovers of Krishna. So their criticism to him was more nectarine than the Vedic Brahmins praising him.
Creating a safeguard against making mental offenses.
Making what?
Mental offenses. Is there a way we can use a tendency to make some kind of mental offense as a vehicle to be very careful and use it as a safeguard?
Always remember Krishna and never forget him. That's how to free oneself from mental offenses. Is we always remember Krishna. Vismarta. Smartavya satatam Vishnu. Vismartavyam jatachit. Always remember Vishnu, never forget him. So that's why we're learning to chant all the time, or think of him. He says, always think of me, become my devotee. Dressing like a devotee will help, because then it'll be less likely for you to forget that you're a devotee. Because if you go out with Western dress, then nobody's really looking at anything special in you. That you go out and dress like a devotee, you can't go to the bar. You can't do this, you can't do that. It'll become, so these things are all to help us so that we don't make offenses. We have so many things. See the deity, how nicely he's dressed, how smell the incense, all best incense should be offered to the Lord, best clothes, best everything. So then we all want to go, because we like to smell the best thing. But we've learned that we should only smell the best thing after the best person smells the best thing. Then we smell it, that's all right. If we smell it before him, we make offense. So this whole program of Krishna consciousness is to bring us to that state so we don't make any offenses. Like someone like Prabhupada, no offense. Offenses couldn't possibly come in his mind because he's so completely engaged in devotional service. Not possible. Prahlad, no offenses. Even his father was such a demon. And Prahlad had no bad feelings towards his father. All he could think of was how to save his father. Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Vishwanaga. Shri Bhagavan.